Following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out.
It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I don't know. That wasn't that bad. I mean, everybody was trying to tell me how bad Thursday Night Football was going to be after you Jones all year and you want football. And then I was told, they're garbage teams and it's going to be... I don't know. It was pretty entertaining last night. I thought that the Bears and the Commanders put on a show. Sometimes when evenly matched bad teams get together, they put on a good show, too.
Ooh.
It was... Am I wrong?
Hold up now.
Hold on.
Commanders were not supposed to be
They
done
weren't, but they
like
lost.
that at halftime. Evenly matched bad teams. We're talking about the worst team in football.
After it's all said and
The
done.
Chicago Bears.
After it's all said and done. Were they evenly matched bad teams?
Hold up now.
Maybe the bad team was better than
Thought
the good
everyone
team.
wanted to be the Commanders.
Everybody wanted to be the Commanders. That's right. Good morning to you. Happy Friday. Merry Friday. Fiesta Friday. Ho Fiesta Friday. Balloons going up today. It is Albuquerque aloft from Pick Your Elementary School around the Burque. The traffic is up. The restaurants are full. The bars are full. The people are here. It is Fiesta time, and we are here for you on a Friday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Gato Roberto is in for DC today. Thanks for getting up this morning, and good day, sir. Yeah, that's what I thought. See, the morning shift will beat you up a little bit, won't it?
Well, yeah, when you don't do it for a long time.
That's right. When you're out driving all night long, and then you got to go, I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah. Before DC, I was doing it every day. So
I remember those days. Yeah, no, then DC came along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry Kill's going to be with us. Speaking of another good guy, 7:15, New Mexico State's football coach, due to be with us after the Aggies 34-17 win 2 nights ago on Wednesday night. Lights in Las Cruces. Nick Nee at 9 o'clock. We'll get you a wrap up on the Ryder Cup and your golf tip. JJ, look, you're right. The Commanders were supposed to be better. The Commanders were not supposed to be down 27-3 at halftime. They weren't supposed to lose 40-20, but they did. And I don't know when supposed to goes. Does it go to yesterday or does it go to 4 weeks ago? Because that was the Justin Fields that we were supposed to see when the season started 4 weeks ago, just not the Justin Fields we were supposed to see yesterday.
With all that was still coaching malpractice in the second half. The Chicago Bears, again. It wasn't good. I'm not feeling good watching that game because Matt Eberflus,
You were entertained?
You're down to a fullback as your running back,
That's right.
and you spend the entire second half running on first and second down.
I know.
And you got a DJ Moore reception off a dart from Justin Fields to change that game. But Matt Eberflus has to get out of his own way. You can tell that's a defensive guy that just wants to do defensive things. If I'm the Commanders, I am so frustrated this morning. There was no way. When all Chicago was doing was zone blitz, every single play, that they should not have feasted earlier against that secondary.
Okay.
Every single play was the same thing. And yet, the Commanders couldn't move the football. They got sacked at the end. Sam Howell was on the ground. That was such a bad performance from the Commanders.
Yeah, and that's why Magic Johnson, one of their new co-owners, went off on them afterwards. So it's interesting because all that's right. Chicago was down to a guy named Kari Blasingame who had 3 carries in his NFL career. He was their fullback. Khalil Herbert was hurt. Rashawn Johnson was hurt. Dante Foreman didn't dress. My guy Dante Foreman didn't dress, JJ.
He's dressing next week.
He'll dress next week and go pick him up. This was about Justin Fields and DJ Moore. opening it up, and DJ Moore had 8 of Justin Fields' 15 receptions, 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. The guy that they went out and got, that was the throw-in in the draft, in the trade that sent the number 1 draft pick to Carolina. Carolina sent back the number 1 draft pick. I'm sorry, their draft pick, their first-round pick, and DJ Moore. And I remember, telling you at the time, I think that was significant. It hadn't necessarily been significant until yesterday. That's who that guy is. I'm not telling you he's a top-tier guy. He's not Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. He's the next tier guy, though. He's a number 1 receiver if you utilize him.
Of course, that's if you're asking for DJ Moore in a trade that's involving the number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
You believe he's your number 1 wide receiver.
Get him the damn ball. And they hadn't done that. And yesterday they keyed on it and made it important to get him the ball. Defensively, it was supposed to be the Bears were a sieve and play all your commanders. Play all your commanders. And get Brian Robinson in your fantasy lineup and play and they had 3 points at halftime. Sam Howell hadn't done anything. Now in the second half, that's what blows my mind. How a team can flip the switch like that. And Chicago knew what they were going to do, and Sam Howell actually looked like a really good quarterback in the second half, didn't he?
That's also the beauty of this game.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The whole narrative was, we get the Chicago Bears, and we have to watch Justin Fields, and Justin Fields can't read this, can't do that. It's like, no, this league does this. This is what the NFL is about. It doesn't mean that Chicago Bears are necessarily going to go on a run, but you have games like this. You have moments where in that first half, tell me which quarterback couldn't read the field. Tell me who was the scrub that
100%.
couldn't read a defense.
Yep.
It wasn't.
It was Sam Howell.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, it was Sam Howell. No, 100%. So if we'd have sat here yesterday, 24 hours ago, and you say 40-20 is the final, Washington won the game, right? I mean, Washington won the game. The Bears are in disarray. They're going to fire Matt Eberflus. They're in trouble. So I'm not going to lie to you. And I believe in this stuff, and I believe in it more than you do, more than most. When I heard late afternoon, 4 o'clock-ish, that Dick Butkus had died, the legendary Bear linebacker, number 51, Dick Butkus, died. And the Bears were playing on Thursday night. Like I said, they're going to win tonight. And I believe in that stuff, right? The sports hocus pocus. And I don't know if Dick Butkus died on Monday and they didn't announce it until hours before the game to give the Bears some juice. I don't know. But they announced on Thursday, 3 hours before kickoff, Dick Butkus died. And the magic of that. And I know you're going to tell me I'm nuts, and that's fine. But they won. I so firmly believe in that. Like,
you can believe in whatever
then,
nuts thing you want.
Right then, I said the Bears are going to win this game. I'm like, the Bears are going to win. I know it's stupid. It makes no logic. But they did, and they won by 20. Is there anything to it?
No. But
I believe it.
I don't know if half those people know who Dick Butkus is that were on the field for the Chicago Bears, especially on defense.
Yeah, but there's something about stuff that runs through an organization, right? I just, and you're right. There's nothing to it, but there is, if that makes any sense at all. Like the magic of a legend passing away. Maybe they don't know who Dick Butkus is, but Bears fans do.
But it ignited DJ Moore.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he consciously thought about Dick Butkus or the magic juice and the fairy. I don't know, man. But I said to where was I? I was out. I was with some people at a meeting, and I said the Bears are going to win tonight. That's the kind of stuff that happens, and they won by 20. They had a 14-game losing streak, JJ. They hadn't won since October 24th of a year ago. Almost a full calendar year. 3 weeks short of a full calendar year, they hadn't won a game. And I look, I know it makes no sense. But I believe in that magic, that crazy stuff. And it happened last night. All right, one-hit wonder for the Bears, or does this turn them around?
One-hit wonder.
Because they played that team like they're just...
Like, they're still not a good football team. I don't think Justin Fields is as bad as the start of the season. I still think there is a lot there for Justin Fields. But what they were doing in the first half was a good offense plan. They're quick. They were decisive. They're running the football well. The second half was bad coaching. they went into a shell. And that's where I found Matt Eberflus. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row. That is 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, but he won by 20.
That your team almost blew that game.
Yeah, but
it got down to,
I know.
to 8. I don't care if you won by 20.
I know.
If that's what you're going, well, whew, we're going to do that same thing again, then you're going to keep on losing.
They get the Vikings, Raiders, Chargers next. Evolution in Justin Fields to keep getting better? Is this the start of it, or is it, all right, well, he had one good night, and he's going to be Justin Fields again?
Well, that's 2 good weeks for Justin Fields.
That is. Yeah. Do you trade him?
I don't know if there's a market for Justin Fields.
Atlanta?
Like what they want.
Okay.
If Atlanta will give you something for him, I do think he's better than Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a win for the Falcons. And you wonder, though, if you're trading Justin Fields, you are then setting yourself up for, there is no way that you let Matt Eberflus be the
next
coach
quarterback
of the next number one overall pick.
I agree with that.
So you are then setting the stage for we're clearing this.
I think that's already set. I really do in that organization. All right, we're here for you today, 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. Emails come in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You spell that J. Some people got thought about the JEIGH, or that kind of fun stuff. But it's just J and a J. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 26. On our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. While you're there, like us, please. I mean, if you like us. Coming up next, we're going to have a conversation, or at least scheduled to, with Jerry Kill, New Mexico State's head coach. Aggies won on Wednesday night, their first ever Conference USA victory. They are 1-1 in league. They are 3-3 overall. They got a good fourth quarter performance. Diego Pavia had a good night. So we're going to catch up with the Aggie coach as they get set next week to take on Sam Houston on Wednesday Night Lights. So that is coming up next. Stand by for that here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. Hey, people are in town, and if you haven't done it by now, just do it for you. Don't do it for them, do it for you. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Call and get your vehicle detailed, cleaned, scrubbed, shiny, new. Remember those days? You can have it again and you don't have to have a new car. On the Spot Automotive Detailing comes to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient, and they are the best at detailing your vehicle. They will do this while you're working. I don't know where their office is. Doesn't matter. They know where mine is. And I get a text when I go outside, and people are sitting there staring. Hey, I want to get that. Well, you can. On the Spot Automotive Detailing professionally details your vehicle. You can get a fresh coat of wax, even ceramic coating. It's the best way to protect one of your biggest investments. And they offer a 10% discount to our military and teachers. Schedule online, 505, the phone number, 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859, or online at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Sports Animal.
2 nights ago, down in Las Cruces, Wednesday Night Lights. The Aggies get their first ever Conference USA conference victory. 34-17. New Mexico State behind a 17-point fourth quarter beat FIU. Aggies are 1-1 in conference play. They even their record overall at 3-3. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. The head football coach at New Mexico State in his second year is Jerry Kill. He joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Jerry. Congratulations on a nice conference win on Wednesday night. How you living?
Well, I'm doing good. I appreciate that. Kids, played hard, played physical. Probably, we played pretty good in three phases. We just didn't play very smart. We cost ourselves a couple opportunities to score and had a couple of sacks, celebration and, all that kind of stuff. And you can't do that stuff. So, other than the playing smart part of it, I think our kids, looked a little bit more like a Coach Kill football team as far as playing hard and tackling well and doing what they need to do.
You talk about the celebration stuff, and I'm trying to remember who it was. You had a sack, and the young man, he did like a little somersault. He rolled over. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Sterling Webb. And I was like, why is that a celebration? He just kind of rolled over and sat there and put his arms out. Did they explain that one to you? Because I thought, really, you can't even do that?
Yeah, I think Conference USA, we got to deal at the very beginning, and they're not going to let you celebrate. That's kind of their, that's their image, so to speak. But, this nothing to do with Conference USA. Is you still got to have fun playing the game.
That's what I thought.
And if it's going to be that way, then you got to adjust. And I thought we did a much better job at it's an emotional game. It's hard to get those kids not to, certainly this day and age with kids, they all want to, everybody wants to show, we did some, but his situation's a little bit different.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. When Jerry Kill's with us, the New Mexico State head coach, all right, talk about the adjustment to this Wednesday thing, right? So you play your whole life on Saturdays, you play on the weekend, you play the first month, and now the adjustment. Are you in it now for the next month? Are you kind of in a routine once you jumped into it? You're going to now play Wednesdays and Thursdays. What do you think of the atmosphere, and do you like it?
Yeah, we had a really good crowd, actually, and it surprised me. And I've done it before. I did it for 3 years in the MAC conference. And so that, pretty much as we did there. And so I think being in the MAC conference, I'm used to it. Kids aren't, but I'm used to it enough to where you kind of know where your team needs to be, when you play a Wednesday or a Thursday night game and your game plan and et cetera. So, it really doesn't, it really hasn't, I'd say affected us, except when you go on a road like Florida International did and they get home at 6 in the morning, now that's going to affect you.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt. And then you got to turn around and play in 4 or 5 days. That part is tough.
Yeah, and by the way, and go to school. Jerry Kill is with us on the opening drive.
Jerry, what's it like coaching Diego Pavia and how he has responded and played the last few weeks?
Well, it makes you pull your hair out sometimes, is that Diego's a very hard-nosed, tough. You can't do a flip when you're 6 yards away from the sticks, and you appreciate his competitiveness, but he's got to play smarter so he can take care of himself. And, he has 2 or 3 things a game which, can either be great or could hurt you or, but, that's who he is. So you have to accept some of those things. And, Coach Beck been coaching quarterbacks for a long time. Coach Altman's involved. It's just kind of the way he is. And, but, we wouldn't be where we're at without him. He's played well and got, he could play better. Everybody goes, boy, got this and this. And we put the film on, he can still play better. And, that's a good thing because we got a hell of a long road yet. So, he can still get better, but he played, played very well in the game except for about, 5 plays. But they were critical plays. It's an interception, and we missed some people that were, wide open. But there's only about 5 or 6 mistakes in there, but as a quarterback, you can't turn it over. And we did that only once, so it was much more issue. But against a real good team, you can't turn the ball. And so he's got to take care of the ball a little better. He tries to do too much sometimes, but I'll still take him because he's a hard-nosed, tough. I've never, Coach one's going to backflip into the 6 yards,
and get drilled while you're up in the air like that.
Yeah, he breaks break your neck, and you got to guard against that.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry, with the video that came out and the noise that surrounded the program, I know you said after the game nobody in this room wants to go through what he's going through. I don't know exactly what that means, and if you want to get into that, you can, and if you don't, that's cool. But did the noise? How did that play in the locker room? Was there any? Everybody had to hear it, so the noise had to get in. How did the video, the story about it, and everything around Diego and that video play in your locker room, and how did you guys handle that?
Well, it's everybody. First of all, I was sick for a couple of days. When it came out, I didn't see it right away, and then I seen it, and and I knew about it after the game because the head coach told me about the game, and but it's a deal. It happened 2.5 months ago, so it was one of those things. As soon as I found out about it, I already got taken care of. Now, if I know something about it, everybody knows I'm old school. I take care of it, and but if I known about it, when it happened, it could have been taken care of a heck of a lot earlier. But it is what it is. We have team policy and team rules, and people know exactly where they stand and what they got to do. And so it's not as hard for me than others because I've got it written down. They see it from the first day on. So it didn't take me long to get it fixed, and it never was a problem with, he apologized to the team, et cetera. And then, of course, he's got to do a whole bunch of work. And so that's all I'll say. But, we've had so many distractions this year. Every week there's something. And we've handled it pretty good, really. I mean, and so, you do your job and you set the tone for your team. And, when it's your quarterback and the coach does what he does, then the rest of the team makes sure they won't do anything like that. So, I don't expect anybody on a football team to ever do anything, even associate like that, and I guarantee you Diego won't.
Do you anticipate at some point he's going to talk to the media, and that's going to be the first question. Will he just come out and make a statement at some point, whether he apologizes or explains, and just make it go away, or is he just not going to talk anymar to the media?
No, he's not going to talk to the media the rest of the year.
Okay.
And that's, why. I mean, that's part of his, you got to understand that, everybody knows what's happened. Everybody knows he's gotten disciplined. He's apologized to the team. And, there's a lot more, in rivalry. There's a lot more went on in that game and through that than just us. So there's a lot of other things, but I don't get into all that stuff. I handle our team, discipline on our team. I take care of our team. I don't know what everybody wants to explain this or that. It's pretty well explained and pretty well taken care of. I mean, it's taken care of.
Got it.
And you move on, and that's how we work here. And shoot, I dismissed maybe one of the best players that have been playing in this league, and I did it in a week. And he wasn't a bad kid, but he did something more major than that. So, I don't put up with a lot of stuff, and it's I don't have, I think I got the respect for the community and also the school.
Appreciate that, Jerry. No, I appreciate that a lot. Jerry Kill is with us. Just a few more minutes. New Mexico State's head coach.
Well, Jerry, your defense creating turnovers, 2 interceptions, had a big interception in the red zone. Seeing that from your defense, what were they able to do finally get those turnovers?
Well, I think they just, we played hard. We had pressure on the quarterback. We hadn't had pressure on the quarterback like that all year. And we got him uncomfortable, and then we stopped the quarterback draw and scrambling around, and then he had to throw some balls up, and we were able to pick them off and make some plays. And, they played harder, they played smarter, we had less missed assignments. We're getting to where, you're how we're supposed to play on defense. We still made a couple mistakes in the secondary, but overall, I thought the defense did their part, and I think offensively we left a couple scores out there.
Next up, Sam Houston, Wednesday night. Interesting. Your league's interesting. I look at Jacksonville State and what Rich Rodriguez has done with the Gamecocks. They're 5-1. That's a team that's transitioning to FBS. So is Sam Houston, and they played some teams pretty well. Air Force, who's really good, they gave Air Force all they want. You got an interesting matchup coming in Sam Houston next week. Best
0-5 team in the country. That's all I'll say. Best 0-5 team in the country. I've coached against Casey Keeler. Rich Rod, and, teams that were coming down the barrel, you can either win or lose. I mean, there's no room for error. And their defense is I think, you get into rankings and majorities and whatever, but their defense is a handful in what they do and how they play. And we'll have to. They're getting better, even though they're losing. They're getting better, and they don't want to pass away. A guy catch the ball to win in that game. at Liberty.
Well, I mean, they gave up 14 points at BYU and lost. They gave up 13 to Air Force, who scored 49 on San Diego State the other day. They only gave up 21 in a loss to Liberty. You saw what Liberty's all about. And so defensively, they're struggling scoring, but defensively, they're legit.
Defensively, they're legit. There's no question about it. And they got a linebacker. He's 5'9", 200 pounds, and he can play as good as any of them that are 6 foot, 6'1", 235. I mean, he brings it. They're good up front. They'll twist you. They make it uncomfortable for you. I think they're a lot like, not the same scheme exactly, but a lot like New Mexico. I got a lot of respect for, New Mexico's defense and what they do to you. And I'd say there's a lot of similarities, in what they do. But we just got, you go down that schedule, and anybody can beat anybody at any time.
That's how it's going to be the rest of the way, Jerry. That's how it's going to be.
There's no room for error.
Well, appreciate it. You spending some time with us. We'll catch up with you again next Friday. We'll be on the Friday schedule for October for these weekday games, and appreciate you making that accommodation. Congratulations on the win. Good luck next week against Sam Houston, and we'll catch up with you next Friday, Jerry.
Well, I appreciate you covering us, and appreciate all of you. So thank you, and you all have a great day.
All right, just take care of you and be well. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
Jerry Kill, the head coach at New Mexico State. Some really interesting stuff in there, and stuff I don't think anybody's heard. And so I want to recap that when we get back, including the Diego Pavia conversation and what he said about how that has been handled. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs.
So, some good stuff with Jerry Kill. First of all, it's good to have him back on. I'm glad he's feeling well, first and foremost. And I don't care if you're a Lobo fan, an Aggie fan. I've spent enough time with Jerry Kill. Personally, you know, I had a couple dinners with him, spent some time at conference meetings and wherever. I like Jerry a lot. He is old school. He does, and his health issues are well documented. He's been pretty upright with us about that. First of all, it's good to hear him, see him back on the sideline coaching and well. On the Pavia stuff, and I think, JJ, that's almost more than we've heard, period, anywhere, right?
Yes.
I don't have any doubt. Jerry says, I'm old school. I took care of it right away. And I have no problem. I'm going to tell you this. I have no problem with a team, a coach, I don't care who it is, not telling you what an athlete has to do. And that's happened here before too, JJ. Basketball guys, it's not uncommon. As much as we want to know, you don't have the right to know what discipline is being distilled. Distilled is not the right word. What's the right word I'm looking for? Whatever.
Dispensed?
Thank you. On a student athlete. I mean, it's as much as you want to know, and you're not going to be satisfied until you know, and then you can critique it, and is it good enough? The interesting part, a couple of things. I'm not throwing him off the team. We handle it. He's going through it, and part of the punishment, it sounds like, because I asked, straight up, I said, is it worth having Diego? And let me tell you this. I don't know if this is true or not, and this is the speculation is there because he hasn't said anything. Maybe Diego isn't sorry he did it. Maybe he doesn't want to apologize. I don't know, but everybody wants an apology, because that's going to make you feel better, and that's fine. And whenever the next time he is in front of the media, he is going to get. And I don't care if it's a year from now, he's going to get asked about it because it was never addressed by him, and everybody wants to know what his thoughts are on it. Because he's the one on the video urinating on the logo and saying bleep the Lobos, right? So Jerry Kill said he won't speak to the media the rest of the year, and that's part of his deal. And I don't know if that means they're going to a bowl game, if they go to a bowl game and they're not going to put their quarterback out there and whatever.
A lot of players are like, thanks.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. I mean, I don't think that's something players enjoy, is sitting around talking to the media. So it was interesting. I don't doubt Jerry Kill disciplined the young man. I'll still sit here and contend that it would go away quicker if there was a statement or Diego addressed it. And I've said this to you before, and somebody just said this to me down the hall. Maybe he's not sorry. Well, maybe he's not, right? But that's where it is. If you want to hear it again, it'll be up. We put it on our podcast. Right?
The apology is not necessary to believe that he's sorry, but it's about accountability publicly. When this rivalry has been nutso for over a year.
Yep.
And you're the face of a program. Diego Pavia is the face of New Mexico State football.
No, Jerry Kill is, but
no, Diego Pavia is.
Do you think so?
everyone knows Jerry Kill, but player-wise,
he's their most high-profile player. He's a quarterback, and he's from New Mexico.
The New Mexico kid, Nimmy.
No doubt.
Albuquerque, sticking it to the Lobos.
He's the one player that everybody knows. Yes.
And it's something you talk about. And it's not necessarily poor performance, but if you're still building people and you still are learning what being in the public eye is, and in this new era of NIL, wanting this, wanting that, like learning accountability publicly, to me, is a part of that process.
Yeah, and I think what Jerry said is he's accountable. Yeah. He apologized to his teammates, and he needed to. I mean, because
and what you said and the sense you get from Jerry Kill is like they don't owe anyone else anything else.
Well, that's kind of what
it's an Aggie thing. The Aggies did what they needed to do, and
yeah. And one thing Jerry said is you didn't need to apologize. I mean, it's been explained. I don't know, has it? And fair enough. I'll listen to this, and I've asked this question. What is it? Those of you who are just irate, right? Lobo fan who's irate over this. What is it you want to hear that's going to make you feel better? Nothing, right? I mean, if the kid comes out and says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it, I learned my lesson, you're going to go, yeah, he was forced to say it, and he's not really sorry. If he comes out and says, it was just an immature, stupid thing to do, and it was emotional, and yeah, you're right. What do you want to hear? And then you're going to say it's crafted, and you might be right. So what is it that's going to make you feel better?
Part of it is just going through it publicly.
So you want to? He needs to go through it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, but I guess it is the line that we're still in this world of. There's easy things to fall back on. As much as this game, college football, is monetized, the players are monetized. They can still do it's a student athlete.
Yep.
So we don't owe anyone anything when it comes to the rights that they have as a student athlete.
Yeah, I in some respects, yes. And I'll tell you, the way New Mexico State's handling this and the way they've handled other issues, I mean, will you argue against me when I say it works for them? I mean, other people would handle it differently and have the student athlete go out there and apologize or when, some of the other things, they'd have been more outward and front-facing and made statements. They didn't. That's not their way to do things. And I hear what Jerry says. What do you want him to say? I played this in my mind so many times. I know y'all have. And we've had this conversation. And again, I'll go up until you saw that video. What was your perception of Diego Pavia? Aggie fan, you loved him. You're going to build a statue. But Lobo fan, you still kind of liked him, right? Well, I think they're going to build a bigger statue now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aggie fan loves him even more.
I can see it, maybe a fountain type of thing.
I get where you're doing. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, see? That's right. A functioning fountain.
Yes.
Yeah. But Lobo fan, I think, respected him, liked him when he wasn't playing the Lobos, right? Now, you don't because he peed on your logo.
Well, and it's one... I'm with you, Jeff. Like, this is... I think public accountability is important in this just for the growth of someone that you want to be the face of your program. That is the face of your program still, despite not talking to the media.
It probably is going to be next year, too.
Like, everyone is talking about Diego Pavia. And I know that, the Aggie fans are just... There's so many that are like, just move on, dude. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? But it's if you flip this, I know the script that would be coming from Aggie fans.
Right.
It'd be like, of course the quarterback in Albuquerque did that. That's what the city does. You need to fire your AD, this or that. Like, so that...
Yes.
It's not crazy to be wanting at least just a public acknowledgement of something that was a mistake. I'm not asking Diego Pavia to never play football again, have his scholarship pulled away. But understanding, like, this rivalry is very important in this state. And it crossed a lot of lines.
I would argue with you that the most public acknowledgement is what we just got.
What we just got from Jerry Kill, yeah.
Yeah, period. Any outlet I've seen. That was the most public acknowledgement of and that's, I think that's going to be the pinnacle of it.
Because for me, I look at it as fans are going to do whatever they want to do. On social media, in the stands, people just think sports is an outlet for them to be jerks.
That's right.
We understand that. But from the university's perspective, I think that's where they have to step up and be different. And I thought a public apology would have at least just acknowledged, hey, we understand that that was a really bad look. Like, that is super disrespectful.
It's a bad
regardless of what you think of a rivalry.
So let me ask you this.
You didn't get that if you're UNM.
And then we'll move. And I asked you this yesterday, and I know where I am on this. Internally. Not necessarily Jerry Kill, but it may be in the administration, but certainly Aggie fans. They love this, don't they? I know Aggie fans who are just like, yeah. I mean,
there is no public acknowledgement. Jerry Kill, no one said anything about, hey, we've let UNM know, we're sorry about this. Nothing. It's just we handle it in-house.
In the long run, this grows the legend of Diego Pavia, doesn't it? He becomes
Aggie
a
fans,
bigger
absolutely.
hero for Aggie fans in the long run. And if he gets him to another bowl game and God forbid wins it, that's it. You heard from Jerry Kill on it, and I appreciate his candor on it. Like, what do you want? What do you want him to say? It's been explained. Well, it hasn't really, but he said, "Look, I've handled it. And everybody knows I'm old school. I handle these things. I knew about it after the game. I've handled it. And like you said, I threw a guy off the team for doing something worse than that, certainly. But a guy who he said was maybe the best player in his league, right? And he did. And he did before the season started. They had one of their best defensive players was dismissed. So, all right, 505-246-0610. You're welcome to get in on that and respond to what Jerry Kill had to say. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We're going into a big NFL weekend. We're coming off Thursday night football. Bears over the Commandos. I know it's Commanders. 40-20, we can get into that. And is Justin Fields now turned the corner? He certainly has a little bit more help. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Nahar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
5.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right, this is interesting. This is a text from a Lobo football alum who says, I agree with you. He says, my buddies, Aggie fans, say it's time to move on. No big deal. Lobo fans say, at the beginning, just a stupid kid. Now, with no apology, have lost all respect for the kid, for Aggie coaches, and for Mario. I think kind of that's what I've been saying, right? I think that sums it up. Depending on what shade of red you wear, cherry or crimson. I do believe at the beginning, Lobo fan was just like, man, you can't do that. Just, damn that, and the fact that they feel that there's been no accountability. And again, Jerry Kill just told you there is accountability. He told you that he is taking care of this. And I'm sure there's been accountability internally, right? I don't think Jerry just said, don't worry about it, just go do it again, right? I think there was something, but because you don't know about it, and because there was nothing, JJ, to your point to the text point publicly, right? That I think that hits it dead on. That's what I've been telling you. Aggie fan, move on, man. There's nothing to see here. You use the bathroom in the wrong place, like whatever. It's a rivalry. A young man peed on a logo. It happens all the time. And Lobo fan is just going, man, that's typical of that place, right? They do whatever they want. They get away with whatever they want. Like Stigler just said, they're not in a media center. They're not, they're in a small media market. They're peripherally covered by both El Paso and Albuquerque, and so they can get away with it. And so Lobo fans just going, there's no accountability. They can do whatever they want. And damn it, they disrespected us. Bleep them. That shows who they are. That's exactly who they are. That's what Lobo fans say. And Aggie fans just going, well, bleep you, man. I mean,
it's always going to just be there festering. Like, it's going to be talked about ahead of the basketball games. It's going to be there until next year's football game. And a lot of people are going to chalk it up to just another part of the rivalry. And that's all you can do right now. That's what we got.
No.
You got the word from Jerry Kill, and they're on to Sam Houston.
Best 0-5 team in America, which he might be right. All right, you can get in. It's crazy. 505-246-0610. Bob, you've been watching this from the outside. Gato Roberto is in for DC today, and I mean, I know you guys covered this over on News Radio KKOB, and you talked about the Rival P and the whole thing, the Rio Grande Rival P. They call it Whizgate over there. I'm like, come on, man, Rio Grande Rival P is way better. What was the conversation? And you've done a bunch of shows over there. What was the conversation over there?
I didn't do any of those shows.
Oh, you didn't? All right,
no.
Never mind. All right.
Yeah, never mind. No.
Yeah.
No, it's. I think rivalries can be taken too far, and this is a case of it.
Well, I think there's other cases of taken too far, but I agree with you. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. And you can, 888-922-0610. If you missed Jerry Kill, JJ, when will we have that up? About 10 o'clock-ish?
After the show.
Yeah, after the show's over. We'll post that conversation on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on Opening Drive, and you'll be able to listen to what Jerry Kill had to say. You can also find it wherever it is you get your podcasts and take a listen to that. What do you got there? All right, Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. Hey, balloon fiesta time, huh?
I heard that, yeah. Somebody told me that, yeah.
You know what I always appreciate about some people is they call me up and they go, well, you got the hookup. You can get me down on the field with a VIP pass. And I said, yeah, if you asked me a month ago, but the day before, it's kind of tough, right?
Oh, it is.
I don't know if you go through that same thing with people that pop
all
in
the
from
time.
out of town.
All the time, dude. Hey, we're going to run out of time if you got a point because we're right up against the hard number here.
Yeah, I didn't hear what Coach Kill had to say, but maybe you can reiterate. But I don't hear any apology coming from New Mexico State, and until they do, this thing's not over.
He said Diego apologized to his teammates. That
No.
I'm telling you. You asked what he said. I'm telling you. No, you're not getting. You're not getting it. So he said he's not going to talk to the media. Yeah, he said he's not going to talk to. All right, he said he's not. I mean, you asked what he said. He's not going to talk to the media this year. The rest of the season, that's part of his punishment, evidently. That he is being disciplined.
Punishment?
Yeah.
That's ducking the question. Right. And when he gets in a bowl game and he's in front of a camera, the question's going to get asked. You're in the media.
Look, man,
you're not going to let that go.
It's going to get asked the first time he's in front of a camera, whether it's at a bowl game or at Allsups or at a camp this summer or wherever. That's going to the next time he's in front of a camera, whenever it is, it's going to be asked. Yeah. All right, man, I got to go. Later. JJ, you hit it. I mean, you said it's not punishment. I mean, that's a reward. They don't want to talk to the damn media. They're thrilled.
They don't want us around.
I know. All right, you're in on this 505-246-0610. We'll get into Cowboys and Niners because that's special this weekend. It's the opening drive. Oh, and all your baseball stuff. Oh, and by the way, Lobo basketball got a big recruit, and they flipped him from the Aggies. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Gato Roberto is in for DC today. And Jerry Kill was with us, the New Mexico State football coach, talking about the victory over Florida International over the weekend. I mean, typically over the weekend, during the week on Wednesday. And addressed a little bit the Diego Pavia situation. I asked him, how is it played in the locker room? And he made it very clear. He says, look, I know I'm paraphrasing, and it'll be available for you wherever you get your podcast if you want to listen to it afterwards. But he basically said, look, I'm old school. Everybody who knows me knows I'm old school. I'm taking care of this. I don't let this bleep go. I think we had to hit the button on him at one point, right? And he's apologized to his team, and that's it. And and I asked him, is Diego not going to be available to the media? Because the next time somebody's going to ask him, why not have him just make a statement? And he said, nope, he's not going to be available to the media the rest of the year, the rest of the season, and that's part of his punishment or part of his discipline. And like you said, he said it's been explained. What do you need to be explained? And I think that's a little bit where people are going, well, it hasn't really been explained, and they're saying that's it, right? I mean, we're handling it internally, and I don't doubt that there's discipline internal. And I've said this earlier, and I'll say it again. You don't have the right to know what the discipline is. I know we all want to know, so you can, feel better about it, so you can critique it, whatever. I don't doubt Diego's being disciplined within the program, but we're at a point now, and maybe we've already been here, where Lobo fan is just angry, and I get it. They peed on your logo, they get away with stuff that you don't get away with, and Aggie fans just going, yeah, whatever, man, move on. Like it's not that big of a deal. Get over yourselves. It's not that big of a deal. Move on. A young man peed on your logo, and let's go, move on, beat us. And so you've got these two sides of this rivalry, and a young man who happened to grow up in this city who beat on their logo. You've got all the elements here. 30 for 30, right? And so that's why the emotions are running high. And then we've had the phone calls that we've had, and Johnny, Rudy called and he wants an apology and he's demanding it, and he's not going to get it. Johnny, who's an Aggie, said, just curious, Rudy, did you and him apologize for luring a student athlete to their dorms to ambush and attempt to murder him? And I know you said it's different. It is relatively different, but the answer is no. I don't believe there was ever an apology from the campus to say, hey, we're sorry we lured a student athlete to campus to try to murder him, or one of our students did. No. I mean, was there an admonishment?
So, but if you start playing that game, then no one can ever be held accountable. Like, student athlete accountability in this regard is different than that from a university.
Yeah, no, student athletes are held to a different
line you want to try to go down.
Yeah, student athletes are going to be handled different than a student.
Apples to grapes game, then no one is that. You can never hold anyone accountable.
Yeah. I got this one. I missed Jerry Kill. Listen afterwards, but we got the dub. LMAO, right?
Yeah.
And I think that sums it up right there. Aggie fans look, man, it's not that big a deal. We got the dub, and it's interesting. I've been asked this before too. Would Lobo fan be as angry if they won the game?
Still think it would like a public apology even if they won the game.
Look, I'll stand by this, and I'll stand by a number of things on this. Do I think it's the worst thing ever? I don't. Do I think it would go away if Diego would have come out? Even at this point, I'm like, okay, even a statement, right? Even if they released a statement saying something, and I'll ask you, what is it you want to hear? You'll rip on the statement, you'll rip on the apology, you'll tell me it was written by a PR person, and you might be right in all of that. But I would have probably made him, to your point, on the public accountability piece. In the discomfort and part of it, say, you're going to go out there and you need to, if you don't want to apologize, you can explain it. You can say, look, it was immature, whatever.
Just
make a statement, scram. Okay. And that way it won't be hovering. And in large respect, it's the feed the beast concept I've told you. It would have gone away by now. But
it's just part of, even when you're a student athlete, it's part of things you do. I'm seeing Justin Fields. I was talking about his performance last night. Remember what he had to do 2 weeks ago?
When he blamed the coaches? And
when he brought up, my coach is not coaching right, and then right after practice, had to address the comment.
Yeah.
Things you do.
Yeah, that's all. And then it would have gone away. But look, it is what it is. And people are going to tell, I hear, well, you media people. No, stop. It's not you media people. It's not like anybody made the story up. And people are passionate about it. And I appreciate Jerry addressing it. I don't know that I need to bring it up much more. If you guys, I'm done with it too. And I think that's kind of New Mexico State's plan. Eat it. We're not going to say anything. Let's duck. We'll take the hits, duck it for a minute, and it'll go away. And I think that's kind of how it works. And I'm not going to tell you it's ineffective for them. It's been, when you say, relatively effective for them.
It's worked.
Yeah. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Edward.
Well, good morning. Thank you for letting me be part of your show this morning. All kinds of positivity to share. I shared this 3 weeks ago with this whole situation with Pavia. It's been 3 weeks now. No one's counting. The more people know, the more you don't want to know, right? Whether it's your family, your extended family, the person you're dating or married to, organizations, corporate America, sports teams, the more you know, the more you don't want to know. Am I a firm believer in there needs to be accountability? Absolutely. And, Jerry Kill, who's amazing, he's a professional. Now, if people want to instill their own discipline, then go get your master's degree, quit your $40,000 a year job, go through the ranks of college coaching and become a head coach. Then you can instill the discipline you want. He handled it. I trust him. I believe him. And let's move forward. Hey, by the way, Jerry Kill, I'm more and more impressed with this guy. Coming off the COVID year where New Mexico State essentially shut their program down.
Yes.
They in the last few years, they've won 2 bowl games.
One.
Did you know that New Mexico State's the only... Did they not win the one in Arizona?
They won the one in Arizona. Yeah, the last few years. Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So let's just be factual.
Yeah.
They're the only Division One FBS program that is unbeaten in bowl games, that has played more than one bowl game.
That's
They're
correct.
4-0-1. I went to the Google machine, and that's what it told me.
Isn't that crazy?
4-0-1. That's amazing. Hey, he does great things, and for him to come out and win a bowl game in his first year, now be 3-3, I'm thoroughly impressed, and we're very fortunate as a state of New Mexico to have him and the local coach, which I think is going to do some good things. So let's move forward. Hey, you know what people from Albuquerque should be mad about? I was reading this morning during the Balloon Festival, the amazing Balloon Festival. They're going to shut down the road to the tram for construction the week of the Balloon Festival. In their infinite wisdom, the local leaders, I'm rooting for this city. It's been good to me for 27 years. But come on, man, be better.
I didn't know that.
Don't let the situation outthink you. You got to be smarter than the situation. Let's move to the NFL real quick.
Quickly.
By the way, college games. Maryland, former New Mexico coach that likes to light up the scoreboard.
Mike Locksley.
Big game this weekend at the Ohio State. Coming in 5-0.
20-point dog.
And I'm kind of rooting for that guy.
I am too.
Hey, quickly on the NFL, three games intrigue me. Chiefs at Vikings. Chiefs given 3.5. I think the Vikings might clip them this weekend.
Interesting.
Secondly, your Rams, your Vince Ferragamo Rams, Jeff, your Nolan Cromwell Rams, given 3.5 to the Eagles. The Eagles aren't even playing well, and they're unbeaten. I think the Eagles find a way to win a close game. The Cowboys, the Niners are giving up 3.5 at home. The league MVP leader, Christian McCaffrey, I think he's going to score a couple of times. I think the only way the Dallas Cowboys can win this game is if they get a couple of turnovers.
They have to.
I just
100%.
think that the Niners have a better roster,
100%.
and they're better coached. And I think it's going to come down to turnovers. So,
all right, enjoy the weekend.
Share my thoughts.
Yep.
Enjoy the Balloon Festival.
See ya. Enjoy the weekend. I did not know that about the road to the tram. I hope that's not right. He's usually finds that stuff before he comes in, but that would be. I mean, why not next week? All right, Dan. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Dan.
Good morning. You guys hear me?
Yep, can hear you. Daniel.
Hey, yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're on the radio.
Yeah, hey, if Edward loves him so much, he should move down to Las Cruces. And I've always thought Edward was a legend in his own
Don't do that to him in his own mind.
I'm a firm believer that our children are an extension and a reflection of us. And so when Addie goes out and to the public and performs and is who she is, she's a reflection of Jeff. When my young people go out and into the world, they're a reflection of me. So I know, Jeff, you and I talked about this. I feel for the young man's parents and his family members because, they've got to deal with it. He's down there at school and being a hero and being a big dog, and they're having to deal with it over here everywhere they go. I'm sure, your kid's the one that peed on the logo. So attitude reflects leadership, and I'm not real happy with what Coach said this morning, but, it's his gig, man.
Yep.
But I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Got it. Appreciate you. All right, Dan called at 505-246-0610, and you can as well. I got some correspondence. Text line says, Jeff, you sound like a Pavia apologist. What have I said to sound like a Pavia apologist? Because I haven't demanded to be thrown off the team? I mean, I'll tell you again. I feel they should have made him or had him make a statement, whether it was an apology or an explanation or something. No, I mean, I can't sit there and condone what he did. Do I think it's the worst thing in the world? I don't. But it's not something that is once you see the video, you can sit there and say, yeah, it's just fine. It's just a kid peeing on a logo. No, you can't. I don't think he should be thrown off the team. I don't think he should be thrown out of school. But I do, and Jerry said he's disciplining him. I mean, what have I done to apologize? I think he should have had to make some sort of a statement and face the music, because at some point it's going to be there. And you know what? For him, it would have helped him. It would get this off his chest. It wouldn't be lingering for him, waiting until every time he sees a camera or reporter that he's got to turn the other way. It would have taken it off of his shoulders. But what have I said to sound like a Pavia apologist? I don't dislike him. I mean, bad move, right? But I'm going to tell you, I mean, he's a heck of a player. And am I wrong when I say before this, I think even Lobo fan kind of liked him when he wasn't playing the Aggie or the Lobos. right? But I'll eat it. I mean, tell me what I said. 2979. Tell me what I said to make it sound like an apologist. I'll eat it if I did. I got a few more for you. 505-246-0610. And I do want to get into how do the Cowboys beat the Niners, because that's a big deal this weekend. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point there.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid on it going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
I want to wrap this up, or well, I don't know if we're going to wrap it up, but y'all took the time to put some of this in, so I'll get it to you on the text line, 505-246-0610. That's how to get to us. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Jerry Kill was with us earlier today, about an hour ago, the head coach of New Mexico State, and talked about the victory over FIU, but also did address the Diego Pavia situation in regards of how he's handling it internally. He didn't say how, but he said, look, everybody who knows me knows I'm old school and I'm taking care of this. And, I asked, will Diego speak to the media again? He said, no, he will not again this season. And I'll contend this, JJ. I think if he did go out and make a statement, Diego, on this, and again, I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world, but it's a thing. And it would go away. And I just think it would almost take the weight off of his shoulders, right? Not having to worry about, well, the next time I do speak to the media, that's what they're going to ask me. Because at some point he's going to. Text line says, I missed the interview. Did you ask him when Pavia is going to step up? And it says 11,000 for Conference USA Open are pathetic. It was a Wednesday night, and be careful, Lobo fan. I mean, there's been some conference games around here, especially on weekdays, that have not been great crowds. So I don't know. Morning, Jeff and JJ. Rudy's such a joy to listen to. Did he just incriminate himself saying this isn't over? Sounds like he has a P-LAN. See what he did there? Laugh, laugh, it says. It's from Chris. And then this one says, high and mighty aren't you, Edward? He needs to apologize to the sports animals that may make $40,000 a year. Maybe that's all they can do. Stop judging people, dude. Okay. We're here for you at 505-246-0610. I'm getting in information on the tram closure, by the way. Dan says they have to do it this week because they couldn't, because of crowds over the summer, and now because crummy weather, the window to complete the work is rapidly closing. Jeff sent me a story that basically said, sounds like the road on the east side is closed, not the road to the tram, but the backside to the crest might be closed. All right. Before you go, check the roads. Oscar's in on Diego. I'm a New Mexico State alumni. It says I am an NMSU alum, and not all of us are happy with what Diego Pavia did to UNM. It was disgusting and embarrassing to his family, his team, and the university. He should issue a public apology to UNM, his team, and the university. Aggie fans are not okay with it, as you say. Oscar, appreciate you. Not all Aggie fans are, obviously. Many are. And Oscar, I'm going to guess that you probably know some of your buddies, some of your alum friends who are. I know a number of Aggie fans, Aggie alum, who are just kind of laughing it off, and it's not that big of a deal. But I agree with you that not all are. And I agree with you on what you say. I mean, it would, if he issued a statement. I was having this conversation, JJ. What if he's not sorry? What if he doesn't want to apologize? All right. Some sort of statement. And it goes away.
I think what the point you brought up is it's still on his shoulders. Like, he can act like no one's going to ask him this question a year from now. But you're not taking... Like, Diego Pavia is going to go to media day next year for that football team.
Maybe.
It's just like you said, sometimes it seems simple. Yeah. Just address it, move on, because you're still a Division I starting quarterback. That's in the news.
Let me ask you this, and again, I'm not going to tell Mario how to do it or Jerry Kill. I mean, they're good at what they do, and it's worked for them. Do you think it's best for Diego, for the young man, to not address? Like you almost feel like you're protecting him from the moment. But in the long term, wouldn't it be better for him to go out and address it and just get out of the way?
Because then it's easier to say,
it's done.
Don't ask that question.
Right. I've already addressed it. But, and like Jerry just said, it's been explained. Well, not really. No, it hasn't. He said it happened a while back. What did he say, 2 months ago? or 2 months before. Okay. But, and again, I'm not irate over this whole thing like some people are. But I feel like for the young man, the best thing might be just to get out of the way, rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah, it hurts. It's not going to be easy putting him out there and making him say something. But at some point, he's going to be asked something. That's all. All right, 505-246-0610. I got Cowboys and I got Niners this weekend. Cowboys and Niners is really good. And I will agree with Edward on one thing. If the Cowboys are going to beat the Niners, they need to turn over Brock Purdy. He doesn't throw interceptions. He's got the best QBR in the National Football League. JJ, we sit around, and I say it as a collective, not everybody. There are a lot of people who are still waiting for Brock Purdy to come to earth. Brock Purdy is undefeated as a starting quarterback in the National Football League. So what does come to earth mean? Well, he's going to lose a football game at some point, right?
He will lose a football game.
Okay. He's father time right now. Undefeated. Never lost. I watch Brock Purdy. And so I say, okay, why do people doubt him? Why are people, well, yeah, he's good, but all right, he's fine until they get a quarterback. And I think, so I watch him. All right, he's smallish, right? He doesn't have a great arm. So there's other dudes, right? Drew Brees was small, didn't have a great arm. There's other guys. If he was drafted, hell, not even in the first round, if he was drafted in the second round, as opposed to the last pick in the draft, I firmly believe we would not be sitting around waiting for him to fail.
Absolutely. You're just waiting because he was the last pick. People are talking themselves into Sam Howell. People are talking themselves into
Fifth
Desmond
rounder.
Ritter.
Yeah. Well, nobody's talking themselves into Desmond Ritter.
They were before the season
started.
started.
I know, but they're not anymore.
No, but that's why. It's, he's drafted higher, so he has to be a higher caliber player. He slipped down, but he's in a situation where it's, to me, I don't think it's as disrespectful as people want to say, like, he's a system quarterback. Yeah, because that system's fantastic. Like, Brock Purdy, could he be a successful quarterback somewhere else? Yeah, it's entirely possible. But he's not maximizing his assets. It's the same thing if you took Tua out of Miami. Might see a little more of his deficiencies show up.
What would Patrick Mahomes look like in Tennessee?
He'd still be fantastic.
He'd still be really good, huh?
That's the elite. That's the elite conversation. But with Brock Purdy, it's not just, the skill players are really good, but he's running the offense efficiently. They're not winning despite him. He's putting the football downfield. He's making big throws in this offense. He's very efficient. And you were right on, and everyone's looking at this game, and it's going to be decided by the Dallas Cowboys defense. Because as awesome as they've been, they've played Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Joshua Dobbs, and Mac Jones.
Yeah, we'll see what they are this weekend.
Those are the quarterbacks of the offense.
And Joshua Dobbs had a day.
And they lost to Dobbs.
Yeah, Joshua Dobbs had a day. All right, Jerry, you want to talk about New Mexico State. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, guys. My opinion of this Diego Pavia thing is if you go back in time, just in a short time, and look at the things that New Mexico State has declined to bring forward, and just start with the fight in Las Cruces of their basketball team beating up of our kids. New Mexico State never came out on that one. Never said much about that. After the incident in Albuquerque where a kid was shot and killed, they basically tried to cover it up. This deal with Diego Pavia, it's the same thing. They're trying to, they don't want to say anything. So to me, it shows that not only does the program have a lack of class, but the administration and especially the athletic director is not handling this the way that it should be handled. A program with any class is going to address problems and bring it out and correct them. They haven't corrected one thing.
Well, they shut down their program. They shut down their basketball program and changed coaches. So they feel like they've corrected the basketball culture. They shut down their program. They cleaned house. They changed coaches. So I mean they did address their basketball issue after the hazing.
Well,
thing.
hang on. What about the fact the kids that have been awarded thousands of dollars?
That would be millions.
For that
would be millions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They didn't really address that until after the issue. Are you telling me they didn't know that was going on? I mean,
I'm not telling you that at all. I'm not telling you that at all. No, look, you're not wrong. That's they haven't made a lot of statements when that all happened. No, you're right. I mean that's their pattern of dealing with things. Is to not say a lot of things. I think it took when the whole thing, the incident happened up here on a Friday night, Saturday morning. I believe they didn't address anything publicly with a statement until the Wednesday following, which was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I mean that's just kind of their strategy of dealing with things.
Yeah, and I think it's classless, and
right,
that's who they are.
Appreciate you. That's again. I'm going to go back to it's worked for them, right? They're not going to come out and say a whole lot of things. In that situation, what did you want? Did you want Mike Peake to come out and say something from the hospital? The shooting incident was the extreme. You guys talk about the fight at the football game last year. I don't know who started that. I don't know. Do you know? Does Jerry? Do you know? I don't know. I mean, it's just it's easy to assume it was started by the students from UNM as it is the players from NMSU. I don't know the answer. If you all do, I'm listening. I know. I saw the video. I know who won the fight. I mean, I know how that ended and what it led to. But yeah, everybody's got deals with it in this particular situation. This is just my opinion. Just how would I have handled it? I'd have had the young man make some sort of statement because I think it addresses it, it makes it go away. And I think, honestly, it would be better for Diego to just get that part of it off his chest or off his shoulders. You don't have to carry it around wondering, the next time, whenever it is, whether it's tomorrow, next week, next year, in 2 years, whenever I got to stand in front of a camera or meet a media member or talk to a writer, they're going to ask that. Because that's the way that beast works. And you can tell me it's horrible and it's old news and move on. And I'm going to tell you the best way to move on is just rip the Band-Aid off, and he didn't even have to apologize if he doesn't want to. Just some sort of statement. Just feed the beast, and the beast will go away. And I think it would be easier on Diego in the long run. If you think you're trying to protect him, that's just my feeling on it. I'm not mad at them. Look, do it your way. It seems to work for them, JJ. And if I'm coming off as an apologist, that's not my intent. I'm just telling you how I would handle it, but I'm not in that position.
At the end of it all, Jeff,
yeah,
it's been handled. And that's the response you got, and that's what it is moving forward.
That's what I heard. All right, when we come back, 282 yards last night, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did he turn the corner? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This message brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
You want to talk about the Aggies? When do you want to talk about the Bears? Sean, you're up on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just chiming in on the New Mexico State situation. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, is it handled in a traditional sense? I would think probably not. But does it make any of these fans who are calling in and talking, it's classless, it's the worst thing that's ever happened? Does it make them feel better if Diego gets up on the podium and he's crying and he's giving a heartfelt apology to Lobo fans? I don't think so. I know, the media is taking this and running with it. They want the pound of flesh. I get it. But at the end of the day, all the pearls have been clutched at this point, and I really don't think that it's going to change any opinions. That being said, I don't like that it happened. I don't like to see that stuff happen. It's not a good look. I don't appreciate it. I don't want to see that out of a quarterback, out of any school, doing that to any rival. One thing I did want to jump in on from yesterday when we were talking about quarterbacks and New Mexico quarterbacks.
Yep.
I think what's lost is just how insane Chase Holbrook was, because that team
was so
lost
bad.
so many games.
His numbers were
He was
insane.
thrown for almost. He almost threw for 5,000 yards his first year there.
He was good.
At the end of the day, you can score 49 points, but you lose 52-49. No one remembers.
That's
definitely one of the best I've ever seen. Thanks, guys.
That's good. Chase was really good. One other thing on this, it's a bad look for the state, and I know you're going, shut up, and I work with so many people in the industry outside of the state, and I'm not going to tell you I've got overwhelming what the hell's going on, but there have been a number of calls that I've been on. It's like, dude, what happened with that kid peeing on the logo? Like, what are you guys doing? And I'm not telling you it's overwhelming. Please, that's not what I'm trying to tell you. That it's a perception thing too, and I think that's a little bit what Sean was getting to. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
How you doing?
Well, I just wanted to pop off here. I hadn't said anything about the Pavia thing throughout this whole ordeal. It does need to get laid to rest, but the biggest disservice that his coach did to him is not let him get out in front of it. Quarterback's the leader of a locker room in a lot of cases, and I think Pavia may be the leader of that locker room. Now, without him getting out in front of it, there may be snickering, and, it's not a big deal. He wasn't held totally accountable. When I was 10 years old, I stole some candy from the drugstore in Bernalillo. I get home, my mom sees me with candy. She knows that I didn't have any money to buy candy, grabs me by the ear, drags me back to the drugstore, goes to the owner of the store and made me apologize, and then asked him, do you have some work he can do around here for what he did wrong? And they put me to work, and I learned a valuable lesson that day. So, life is full of lessons, and Jerry Kill did let a lesson get away from Pavia.
Well, but what Jerry's telling you, Howard, Jerry's telling you is he didn't get away with it, that internally he absolutely is taking care of it. Just because you don't know about it, he says, if anybody knows me, and he said this to us this morning, I'm old school, and I'm taking care of it. So whatever that means, yeah. I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll trust it because I think he's a solid coach, but I do agree with you wholeheartedly, Jeff. He should have got out and made a statement. Hey, guys, have a good weekend.
All right, see you. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to take Jerry at his word on this. He said, look, I'm old school. Anybody who knows me, I threw a kid off the team for doing something, and one of our best players. So, just because you don't know about it, again, we don't have the right to know as much as you want to. It's not our right to know what they did. All right, Bears fan. Dr. Jim's a Bears fan. And, boy, you look like, I don't know, for a little while last night, it looks like you had a quarterback. Hello, Jim.
Gentlemen, I apologize for calling in on consecutive days, but I feel like it's my civic duty for the people of Albuquerque, having lived in Chicago through the likes of Bob Avellini, Vince Evans, Mike Tomczak, Cade McNown, Moses Moreno, Craig Krenzel, Rex Grossman, and all of that. I just, had to be part of it.
Better list. Bears quarterbacks or Lobo quarterbacks over the years?
Lobos by far. Absolutely. Which franchise in the NFL has never had a 3,000-yard passer?
Chicago Bears.
Under center.
Chicago Bears.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Just run through the list, baby. And they tried to ruin Fields.
So what did you make out of it last night? Is that a blip, or is that him turning the corner?
No, I think he's turned the corner. And listen, they need to free him and trade him if they're not going to make a coaching change this season. I mean, from his first start 2.5 years ago against Cleveland with Matt Nagy, Nagy should have been charged for homicide. They had him drop back against Cleveland. He was sacked 9 times, and it's just been misery. So what he's doing is, despite a Bears organization that is committed to ruining quarterbacks, they are chasing the 1985 dream of a strong defense, and they have provided no offensive insight or coaching to Fields or any of these quarterbacks. So Fields is the real deal. It may not happen in Chicago. I think he's doing it despite Eberflus and everybody else on that staff, and you saw it last night. I mean, he's good, right?
He's got talent. By the way, they don't have a good defense. So if that's how they're doing it, they're failing miserably.
No, I agree. Like, I mean, everything is backwards, right? We're going to invest in defense and be bad at defense, right? And we're trying to ruin our cornerback, but he won't let himself be ruined. That's what I see.
That's good. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Goodbye, gentlemen.
It's a pretty good assessment. Right?
Yeah. The second half was such a bad display of coaching from the Chicago Bears.
They damn near, I mean, they won by 20. And so it's
like you have the lead, and so you're going to manage the game differently. You're going to slow the tempo down, but yet you're comfortable running first and second down run plays with your fullback because all your running backs are injured. So we're like, we're just going to go 3 and out with our fullback and then be forced in 3rd and long situations and keep our fingers crossed Justin Fields can finally bail us out. And he did with that one throw, which barely got through the cornerback's hands to allow a long touchdown to DJ Moore. It was disastrous coaching in the second half. 505-246-0610. You've been quite active today. Love hearing you. You're welcome to get in. That's the phone line or the text line. Nick Nee's going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock. No, that would be 9 o'clock because it's already past 8 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock, we'll go back and look at what happened at the Ryder Cup, get you a golf tip, and we're open here on the NFL for you and on what Jerry Kill had to say this morning. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us. Got the Roberto's in for DC. We'll do a 3-for-all also in the 9 o'clock hour. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover every filled with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
For a 6th-round pick.
For a 6th-round pick.
Okay. All right. Chase Claypool wanted out. The Bears wanted him out. They got him out. This is like it almost feels like the Cam Akers situation.
Yes.
Rams traded him to the Bills. Yeah. Goodbye, Felicia. Be done. Here's a 6th-round pick. Get out of here. All right. Hey, I got this text, and it's interesting, although not the same. Trying to put a wrap on the rival P thing and the whole thing. Edwards said, I saw a guy who won the Heisman Trophy grab his crotch at midfield on the opponent's logo. Didn't he plant his flag in there as well? And point at their coach and the sideline on national TV. Baker Mayfield, was it Oklahoma when they beat, was it Ohio State?
Yes, it was.
When he was in college, right? So he planted the flag in the middle of the field and grabbed his crotch and pointed at the other coach. It was on national TV, and he took the hit for it. Did he ever go out and have to apologize for? I don't honestly remember how that was handled. And I guess it's different than peeing and saying bleep them, or I don't know. You tell me which one's worse.
Edward, you're smarter than that, man. To start backtracking with that logic and be like, well, he didn't apologize, so why did they have to apologize? This was after hours in a team facility, not post. All right,
it's different.
I get it.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. Now we're going to get into which crime is worse, which offense is worse, which one.
It's as simple as address it and you can move on, and you don't, and then it just festers, man.
And that's the issue. That's why
it's what you've talked about. It's not. No one wants to end Diego Pavia's career.
Nope.
The media is not trying to end his career. It's just you have a rivalry, and there's a level of accountability you should expect from student athletes when you put them out there and you want them to be the face, not just of your program, but of your school.
In your state, in some respects. Yes. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. I'm done with that. I hope. But I do have a 156 tee time today, Gato Roberto, and I need help with my golf game. And so Nick Nee, the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club, is going to help us all with a golf tip. We're going to do a little recap. What went right for Europe, what went wrong for the United States in the Ryder Cup, which was last weekend, and all the stuff that goes along with it. Rory and the Kodpak with the caddy and all the junk and whatever. But we're going to get into that because it's interesting stuff, and it was quite the Ryder Cup. Nick Nee, director of golf, San Diego Golf Club. We'll get you a tip next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. And then coming up a little bit later at 9 o'clock hour, 3 for all, give you bets that you should go against on the opening drive.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
morning session of the first day when you get steamrolled 4-0, they were prepared and the Americans were not.
You know, you talk about preparation, and people are going to go, whatever, man, it's golf. Like, these guys play golf all year. How do you prepare for it? Explain why this event is different, why it's harder to go to Rome as it is to Wisconsin, why the home team has been winning so regularly in this team competition, because I think people say, whatever, man, but you're the guy who rolls out and doesn't get to the range and hits a couple balls and wonders why you're not killing it. Explain what that means, because I don't think I even or the average golfer understands what preparation for something like this means.
Yeah, I think it's special. You know, the Ryder Cup, you know, you don't really get a home kind of game in the amphitheater of golf at any event because you're playing as an individual, and this is the one time, other than maybe the President's Cup, that you get a home field advantage. You got 5,000 people on the first tee cheering for one team. And so when it comes down to preparation, are you putting in the work prior? You know, you hear it all the time in the game of golf. You get out what you put in. Yep. If you're at the range, you got to understand where your misses are. You got to understand where to hit the golf ball, where to put it on certain places of the green, how to go about plotting yourself around the golf course. And it's also different because you play different formats than you do in a standard traditional regulation round of golf during the tournament, right? You're playing your own ball the whole way through. Well, now you got 4-ball where you have to hit an alternate shot with another partner. Going out and practicing that so you can understand where your players' misses are, where they're comfortable playing from, what their strengths and weaknesses are. And if you don't put in that time, you're going to get exposed, and they were exposed to the highest degree. And tip your cap to the Europeans, because not only do they have team chemistry, they have a culture amongst themselves in the Ryder Cup that I think the Americans envy, and we tried to match it, but as you saw, I don't know that we're anywhere close to where they want to be.
Might be the best explanation on that I've ever heard. Nick Ney is the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club. It's brought to you by the San Diego Golf Club. He's with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Nick, the mindset at the highest level, I think that was really interesting what you put out, is being prepared for different formats, because a lot of us average Joes, we play like best ball scrambles, kind of what we do a lot of times in tournaments, and it's just I look forward to it because I know, hey, I'm not hitting a good shot here, so at least I'm going to get a chance to hit someone else's good shot. But from a player's perspective, in your mind, you're building things up. You know where you're attacking off the tee. You know what you want to do with your second shot, and that's out the window in some of these formats. And how different is that as a player at the top level?
Absolutely, it's different. You know, we play a couple section events where even we play a best ball format that they play in a couple segments or a couple sessions at the Ryder Cup, and that's different, right? You want to have 2 putts on every green for a birdie, so you kind of have to plot your way different. It's a totally different mindset. It's a totally different approach to how you go about a round of golf, because you have another factor. You have another player that hopefully you can lean on, hopefully you can rely upon, but you both still have to execute shots, and you got to go out and practice it. You got to go out and put in the time to understand that if I'm playing with Patrick Cantlay, he's not good chipping from a short-sided position, right? So I can't miss on the short side. I got to miss on this section of the green. I got to miss here. Or, you know, he really likes playing from a full wedge shot instead of just a 30-yard kind of pitch and check shot, right? So playing that format, understanding how your player, how your teammate wants to attack a golf course, but still be mindful that you have to execute the shots that you can execute. And hopefully you two can lean on each other rather than rely on each other.
I think it's so good. I think, to simplify it, I think it means more to the Euros than it does to the Americans. I think the Americans say it means a lot. I think it means a lot to them individually to make the team. But I think what I saw, and you can tell me I'm wrong and I'll listen, it meant a hell of a lot more to the Europeans than it did the Americans.
Yeah, I think you phrased it perfectly and 1,000% correctly. You saw that. You know, when you have a locker dedicated to Seve Ballesteros, he meant the Ryder Cup. It's a part of legacy to play in a Ryder Cup. When you're one of the top 12 in your respective country to go represent them, whether it's in Rome, you know, next or in 2 years at Bethpage Black, what an honor and what a legacy that you can create for yourself amongst the 11 others that you play with. And I think you're 1,000% correct. I think as you saw as the weekend played out, they cared more, they wanted it more, and they built themselves to be a formidable team, and they played 10 times better than the Americans.
Yeah. All right, I got a 156 today. I need a golf tip. I haven't been playing very much. I think the last time I played is the last time I saw you out there. So I know you got a golf tip, and this is probably the last one that we're going to do this season, and we'll hopefully regather next April and do them again. But you've helped a lot of people's game. What do you got going into what might be some of the end of the season for people?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we've got, a good feel to our golf swing. Quick stat on the PGA Tour, you can gain one stroke pretty much from 19 feet and under. So a really cool game that actually stole from the ASU golf team. You get a putt from 5, 10, and 15 feet, and you're trying to accumulate 100 feet of putts as quick as you can against the playing partner. So you're going to hit a putt from 5 feet. If you make it, you add those feet up. And what you'll see is you start to make putts from areas that you can get better at. Practicing from 30 feet, the tour average is 2.5 in terms of putts. So even if you two-putt, you can still gain a half stroke on the field. But really what we're looking at is under 19 feet and really focusing on that to really get the ball close to the hole, hopefully make it. You accumulate those feet, play against a partner. It's a really good kind of putting with nerves like we spoke about last week. And it's just a fun game to play with a partner and understand that we're not going to make a whole lot of putts from 25, 30, 40 feet, but we can make a ton from 5 and 10 feet and hopefully add up those feet in a game and then take that to the golf course.
Yeah, I love that, actually. All right, what's going on at Sandia? I know we got great food. This is a big week. The deck's open. You got let people know what's up out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Balloon Fiesta that starts here this weekend. The patio, you can see it. It's perfect. We have a full menu offering. Our pizzas are back. Our pretzels are back. We are running a really cool promotion in the month of October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's called #PlayForPink. We're going to give away 2 rounds of, or 2 winners are going to win 2 rounds of golf. All you got to do, follow our social media accounts at Sandia Golf on Instagram and Facebook. When you're out playing with us, hopefully this weekend or this week during Balloon Fiesta, wear a pink shirt, grab a picture with your favorite playing partner. You'll be entered for a chance to win those 2 prize or grand prize winners.
That's cool.
But it's perfect out. Come enjoy the patio. Come enjoy the golf course. There's no better time than now, like I said.
Hey, I want you to know, and these segments on Friday have been brought to you by the Sandia Golf Club. I want you to know how much I appreciate this partnership and this friendship. What you've done, it's not easy to do golf tips on the radio, and I can't tell you how many people have said, dude, that guy helped me. That guy you have on the radio, I tried that putting tip or that grip or that they've tried it. And it works. Matt did it before you, and where you get some of this stuff, it boggles my mind. Your knowledge of the game is terrific. If people are looking for a PGA professional, what Nick and his staff out at Sandia do is fantastic, and I would suggest you get out there. And then your knowledge, what you've added for in just perspective in golf throughout the season on Fridays has been invaluable to our show. The content is great. So as we wrap up this year, I want you to know I appreciate your friendship and your partnership, and I look forward to doing it again next year. You're as good as there is, man, and you're a pro, and you're good people, and we appreciate all the time that you spent with us. So,
yeah, likewise. You guys deserve everything. You're the best show out there, so every award you get, every nomination, it's well-deserved. We're just trying to be half as good as you, and we certainly appreciate the platform to talk some golf and hopefully get people out to golf courses to enjoy the wonderful golf courses we have here in Albuquerque, New Mexico as a whole.
All right, we'll do it intermittently throughout throughout the next few months, and then look forward to getting this back up next April. But be well, enjoy the weekend. Thanks for all the time.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you guys. Have a great week.
You're the best. Nick Nee, the director of golf out at the Sandia Golf Club. Bob, when we started this years ago with golf tips on the radio, I know people are like, how's that going to work? And Matt Malloy did it before Nick, and Nick he's so cerebral, so good, but yet so good at explaining something and painting a picture. And I do all the time. Like that dude that you have on, that what's that guy's name, Nick Nee or whatever, he's helped people's game, man. And you've been out there. You've had Austin out there for the youth stuff that they do.
Yeah, the youth stuff has been fantastic. What they do with the Cubs throughout the summer to get kids interested in golf, that is not easy. And it was something that my 4-year-old looked forward to.
All right, when we get back, you're ringing the phones. Keep them coming. 2460610. That's area code 505-246-0610. You want to talk about the Bears last night. You want to talk about the Cowboys this weekend. We got a Lobo commit in basketball, local commit, that really resonates. I got a lot to do this morning and not a lot of time to do it on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquet. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
The Chicago Bears broke a 14-game losing streak dating back to October 24 of a year ago, 3 weeks short of a full calendar year. They beat the Commanders 40-20, Justin Fields 15-29, 282 yards and 4 touchdowns through the air. Looked like a quarterback. Got loose, ran the ball a little bit. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck, the number to get in, 505-246-0610. Adolph, thanks for holding. I know you want to talk about those Bears. Hello,
Yes,
Adolph.
indeed. It was so nice. It was a very enjoyable evening watching the Chicago Bears win that first game of the season, and watching Justin Fields operate from the pocket and rely on his arm, trusting his arm. And I can't even remember the last time I saw a Bear receiver go for 230 yards on just 8 receptions. And so I was like, tickled to death to see this. And, I've always said in this game, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And I saw improvement even in the Broncos game, from Justin Fields. And I felt like if he can build upon that, we could see something here. He's got to trust his arm. And when I saw that last night, I said, something? The Bears now have a quarterback, and they have a number 1 receiver, a very dangerous receiver. So it was a great victory, and I've got a dozen jerseys in my closet, all Bear jerseys. I haven't put those things on probably in the last 3 years. And so I may start wearing these things again.
Can I ask you a question? And I know you go back to that. I'm going to guess one of those jerseys is number 51. So do you believe in this at all? You're a Butkus guy. You remember Butkus. And when I heard yesterday that he passed away, I just had this, I believe in this sports magic stuff. I said, the Bears are going to win today. Did you get that feel?
Absolutely. I had that feeling. And I'll tell you a Butkus story. I actually saw Dick Butkus play on the football field, on the gridiron, in person. And I can remember that after that Philadelphia Eagles game, they played that game at Northwestern University, and they actually gave out free tickets. So a lot of the guys that I grew up with in Evanston, were at that game. And so, of course, after the Bears won, which was kind of rare in those days, we stormed the field. And Butkus was carrying the game ball, and he was still pretty fired up. And lo and behold, a young man decided that he was going to attempt to take that football from the grasp of Dick Butkus after the game. I am telling you. And I think that might have been my cousin that tried that. Butkus never even looked down. He simply used the football that was still in his right hand to physically stiff arm the kid, and I really believe that was my cousin, who then hit the turf, and Butkus, without even looking down, said, basically, get the blank out of here. And it was like the Incredible Hulk was moving toward the locker room. He never even looked down. He simply felt what apparently in his mind was a simple fly.
Yeah.
And he addressed the fly right there on the gridiron. And I remember us asking, my cousin, like, why did you do that? He said, well, he was holding the ball low. I'm like, do you know who that was? That's Dick Butkus. That is the last thing that you needed to do, was attempt to take the game ball out of his grasp. So, anyway.
That's so good.
Thanks for taking my call.
That's great stuff.
I'm out.
See ya. That's great stuff. As a Bears fan who feels like they turned the corner on this, by the way.
And that's a dude that's 2 weeks ago wanted Justin Fields out of town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sports.
Sports is right. All right, 505-246-0610. Hey, this is interesting. The Big Ten just put out their schedules for the coming years, JJ. I'm not going to go through all of them, but just starting to look at like where Oregon and SC and like UCLA's home schedule next year: Indiana, Iowa, Minnesota, Oregon, and SC. Road league games: Nebraska, Penn State, Rutgers, Washington. It's like, wow. SC on the road at Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota. Home games: Nebraska, Penn State, Rutgers, Wisconsin. It's what you bought into, man. It's what you bought into. It's going to be a different world. All right, I've been wanting to get into this. Dylan Chavez is a basketball player who plays locally. He is been highly recruited. Grew up in Albuquerque. Grew up a Lobo fan. Had committed. He plays at ABC Prep for Brandon Mason. had committed to New Mexico State and then decommitted, and yesterday said that he will play for the Lobos as a preferred walk-on. Said he grew up a Lobo fan, and his granddad took him to the games, and he wants to play in the pit, and he wants to be a Lobo. Preferred walk-ons don't get a lot of time, but this feels like a totally different kind of a preferred walk-on, doesn't it?
Potentially.
Okay.
Comes down to how he performs.
Yeah.
To get his opportunity.
He had other D1 offers. He could have gone elsewhere. He committed to New Mexico State. He decommitted when Greg Heyer was fired at New Mexico State. The season was canceled. I mean, you know what happened. And so he had all kinds of opportunities. This is going to be interesting. You know what Richard's done, and Rich Pitino was in here, I think, last week. We talked about another walk-on who played high school locally, Daraji, who played at El Dorado. He's coming home. And another walk-on that could help. It's the depth. If you got walk-ons who actually you can put in the game and play, I'm not telling you that he's recruiting these guys over some of his scholarship guys. I don't know. This felt like it meant something.
Yeah, it does show the impact that program has for a kid that had scholarship offers to want to take a walk-on opportunity. It's not disrespect. It's just where they are in their recruiting right now. Like, there's some good players on this roster and good young players for the Lobos. You know they're going to be active in the transfer market as well to make sure that next season the backcourt has impactful players. But it's an opportunity. Rich Pitino, you watch him, the way he handles things, you watch practice, the way the team plays. If you can contribute, you're going to get your chance.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, can we hoe? Maybe. We got to do 3-for-all. I got DC's picks for 3-for-all. I'm changing mine. You know why? Because 2 of my 3 were his. He just sent his in. So and he is 2-11. So 2, I got to change my picks around. But we'll give you just random. Pick 3 NFL bets. Pick them. Not, here's what you got to pick this game. And it shows how bad we are and how hard it is. So we'll make you money by going against us. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
There's still one more chance to qualify for our London.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer.
beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
You gonna hoe, Hot Roberto?
I was thinking about it.
Give me a hoe if you got your funky bus fare.
Can it be Friday now?
Wouldn't be a Friday without a hoe.
That's all I'm saying. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in today, you can. Text line says, Jeff, you called that absolutely correct. The European team did want that Ryder Cup win over the American team more. John on the 505, golf is awesome. PGA Live golf, all great. Thank you, John. This one says, from Terry, just to clarify, Baker grabbed his crotch against KU after they didn't shake his hand at the coin toss. Let's combine topics. Taylor Swift song that goes with quarterback taking a leak. Shake it off. I see what you did there. Okay. And then this line says, two things I don't want to hear on the OD anymore this week, Jeff. Diego Pivia and Taylor Swift. Fair enough.
Well, you're listening to the wrong show.
Are you going to do 3 for all?
3 for all.
3 for all. 3 bad bets you should go against. 3 for all. 3 idiots. 3 picks. 3 losers. All right, we got 3 losing bets for you. All right, so what we do here is just go on the board. DC, JJ, and I, and we each just take one. Take a game. What do you like? Against the spread, over under. So you're up first. What do you got?
We're going to London.
Yeah, I stayed away from that game.
Because the team that's been over there, that's been chilling.
That was my thought. Yep.
Jacksonville.
You like the points.
Moved to London. Man, I was about to say plus 5.5. I think they can keep it close with the Bills. A little groggy off the plane.
I like that. See, it was my thought because they're over there. They're acclimated. So you got the Jags.
Comfortable. They're chilling.
Yep.
Eating your team biscuits.
All right. I will, my first one, Houston, Atlanta, I'll go over 41.5. I just think C.J. Stroud scores points. I don't think their defense is that good, although Atlanta does it. I'll go over 41.5 on Houston, Atlanta. And so D.C. put in, he just said his picks. 2 of them were the same of mine, so I went against him. This was one of them that I just called off. He's got Indy plus 2.5 at home versus Tennessee. He took the home dog in Indy, which I like. My second one is Cincinnati minus 3. I think they figured it out this week. Cincinnati minus 3 on the road at Arizona. His second one, Kansas City minus 3.5 at Minnesota. What's your second one?
I was a little surprised. how tight that spread was.
Kansas City, Minnesota.
and
Right, it's scary. Yeah.
So I'm like, hold up.
Feels like stealing, right?
It's one of the ones where I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit.
And then Edward told you, he's a caller that called in earlier today, he said Minnesota's going to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always right.
Yeah, just like the Broncos were going to
No, remember he called that?
Dolphins.
Yeah, remember that when they lost 70-20? Yeah, he's always right.
I remember that, absolutely. Mine is Cincinnati -3.
You got Cincinnati -3?
I'm with the thought process is I think the moments are going to be few and far between.
Yep.
I think it's an uphill battle for the Cincinnati team this season, but you'll get something. Like it's going to be a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase game on Sunday.
Right, and his last one's another one I like. Houston +1.5 at Atlanta. What do you got for your last one?
My last one, the last two raw, I'm riding with them one more time, Jeff.
Yep.
The New England Patriots -1 against New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
How far can Derek Carr throw a football? If he can throw it more than 3 yards, that's going to be an interesting game.
Let's get it to Alvin Kamara. My last one's going to be Baltimore -4 at Pittsburgh. It's a breakout this week for Baltimore. I just don't. I think Pittsburgh's struggling.
Broke out last week against Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, they played another offense that's really, really struggling. All right, we'll get how bad we do on Monday. We'll recap them because we're not really good at this. Omar's in on the Cowboys. They play the San Francisco 49ers. Dallas Cowboys 49ers, Candlestick Park. It's their Cherry Blazer game on Sunday afternoon. They've been getting their fans whipped into a frenzy all week, showing highlights of 1981 Dwight Clark. They might even bring back Pat Summerall and John Madden. How are they going to do that? Obviously, Omar is nervous as a Cowboy fan. Okay. All right. Dan's in on what you did last night. You had Lobo Women's Soccer last night on the Mountain West Network. Mediocre season, he says, for women's soccer, Jeffrey Juan Jose, no Derek Charles, and Gato Roberto. Is a little chance, or I guess it says, is there a chance Heather Dyke's gals don't even make the conference tournament? By the way, it's at Wyoming. Based upon last year's result, the Pokes are even more disappointing. They won't be there. So does the rest of the league really need to go to 72-20 in November? Can't they move it to a more hospitable site? If you can reward Patino for a mediocre season, will Nunez do the same this year for Danny, for Heather Dyke, etc.? Where does it stop? It's from Dan. All right, there's a lot in there, dude.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's a lot in
Stings.
there. You want to address some of that?
Yeah, they're frustrated.
Yeah.
Disappointing. It's a lot of turnover. They lost a fantastic group that won the Mountain West regular season title for 3 straight years. That went to the NCAA tournament. That core group of players graduated. And you're dealing with a transition and disappointment in the performance, especially against Colorado College last Thursday. Utah State, they were a point out of first place when they came into town. They're a good team, and the Lobos came up short.
2-0 last night?
Yeah. It's not generating any offense.
And Boise State's coming in. They're the best team in the league?
They're in the top 3.
Okay.
They lost at San Diego State last night.
Were they going to hold the tournament up at Wyoming even if Wyoming's not in it?
That is, yeah.
Okay.
Let's
all go up and freeze, and the home team isn't even there.
The prior seasons, the prior years,
regular season
champ hosts the next year.
I get that. Good times. All right, Todd's in yesterday. So remember yesterday we were talking about Utah and the University of Utah. All of their scholarship football athletes through NIL were getting a lease on a brand new Ford F1 Bighorn truck, or Ford F-150 Bighorn truck, $61,000 truck. And my biggest thing was, where's the inventory come from, right? I mean, where did they find all those trucks? It was a Rich Ford commercial this morning on our air or on KQB, and they said, we have 27 Ford F-150s for you to choose from. Like, 27, man. They just found 85 of them up there. But anyway, Todd says the OD, NIL, and Bobcat. Jeff, you asked how it works. The first $600 is free for all. So if the new Stighorn truck is $550 a month, Bobcat can drive one for 1 month in style without consequence. But the minute the compensation gets to $600, the NIL must report to the IRS, and the recipient must pay not only income taxes, but if Bobcat's an independent contractor like the players, he must also pay self-employment tax. The bigger question is, where did Utah find 85 trucks, right? As a recent buyer for a new haul, it's not what you want, but what you can find and what you're willing to pay. All right, so you try to explain it as you're a student athlete. Got that about it. You are the starting left guard because you're a pretty big dude.
I was going to be the tackling dummy.
All right. You are the starting tackling dummy.
Thank you.
And you are, so that's how it goes. All right, Todd. I appreciate you, and that's good. Bobcat Special says, tell us, what was Dick Butkus' indirect tie to the University of New Mexico? Or not to the University of New Mexico, to the state of, this is a stretch. What was Dick Butkus' tie to New Mexico? And you know this? This is a stretch.
He knew that New Mexico was a state?
He took over for future New Mexico State coach Reggie Theus on hang time.
Okay.
That's a stretch, right? Yeah.
Well.
It's a stretch. He says, have you got Addie into watching Hang Time, Jeffy? That was great Saturday morning programming. During high school was ahead of its time. They had super seniors before it was a thing. Some of those folks were in high school for a long time. Yeah, that's what happens on sitcoms, by the way. They never graduate. No, I have not gotten her into that one. I like back in the day, I got her into like HR Puff and stuff and Witchy Poo. What was that one? Lidsville and yeah. But I got her some Flintstones back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back in the day. Now she's got her phone. Shouldn't even.
They grow up too fast.
Yeah, you know that game works. All right. What happened this morning was Chase Claypool got sent from the Bears to the Dolphins. We got a lot of reaction to Jerry Kill. If you missed somehow Jerry Kill's conversation, he was with us this morning at 7:15, the New Mexico State coach, coming in after the Aggies 34-17 win over FIU on Friday. He'll be with us on Fridays during October now with the Aggies playing weekday games. But if you missed it, good conversation. And he did talk about Diego Pavia and how he's handling it. And, he said, I'm an old school coach and nobody's got to doubt that I'm taking care of it. And I discipline people. And I asked him, is Diego going to speak to the media at all? He will not speak to the media this season. So you've been very vocal on that. Yeah, you've been vocal on the Bears last night. What was the conclusion? That the Bears turned the corner, huh? That's kind of been the conclusion this morning.
Offensively, they're taking steps forward. I do not believe that Justin Fields was as bad as that start. Like, we can't read a defense. Look at him overlooking things and missing absolutely everything. I don't think he was that bad. And you saw now the Commanders, you can't just say, it was just the Commanders. No, because you were going into that game yesterday, no one thought the Bears were going to have the same performance that they did against the Denver Broncos, because you can say it's just the Denver Broncos, but they were aggressive, they were assertive. He fed his number one wide receiver, which you should. And I like
he feed him?
The play calling of the offense. Now, the second half, that's the step forward, because that is back-to-back weeks where I don't understand the coaching. You go into an absolute shell and almost give away another game.
All right, when we come back, it's the Commander's side. You got a high-profile new ownership group. Got a Hall of Fame basketball player as part of your ownership. It's all great when Magic Johnson's part of our ownership group until you get blued out of your own built by a team who hadn't won in a year by 20 on Thursday Night Football, and your Hall of Fame basketball owner is ripping you. That's next. Opening drive. 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. Hey, now is not the time to take your home or your business security for granted. Aaron Jones started International Protective Service, IPS, back in 2006 up in Fort Hills. Now they are citywide protecting homes and businesses like yours and mine. I've used IPS for years. Not only does IPS provide standing guards and armed patrols, they install alarms, cameras, all kinds of security equipment to record criminal activity and smart technology that controls access to your facility. So at IPS, they'll monitor your systems. When they see something suspicious, they send someone out to check it out. It's a winning combination to prevent you from being victimized. Call them, see what they can do for you. It's affordable private security at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. You can visit them online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about your security.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one.
To brunch, to your next meeting.
Get me out the door.
Hey, dude, I had DJ Moore and Sam Howell last night.
You finally
and
popping off.
Actually even had them both in my lineup. And at halftime, I was pissed because I dropped Russell Wilson, picked up Sam Howell, and then he went bonkers in the second half. And I was playing against Justin Fields, so. But yeah, I'm always the guy who that happens against. It's actually kind of nice to have a receiver go bonkers in fantasy football.
Fantasy Football Friday.
That's right. All right, what do you need to know as you go through your day? There was a small trade in the NFL today. Chase Claypool goes from the Bears to the Dolphins for a 6th-round pick. Bears beat the Commanders last night for their first win in almost a calendar year, 3 weeks short of it, 40-20.
That's impressive.
Well, and not
have that long of a losing streak.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well,
that's hard to do in the NFL.
It's hard to win, man. It's hard
to
win.
lose that many games in a row.
I imagine.
Like, it really is. When we look every week and we come in and go, "Oh, did you expect that?"
Yep. They're never.
And this team was like, "Well, they're just going to lose."
Didn't expect last night either. Go 40-20. And you got a full slate coming up. And if you missed Jerry Kill with us, you'll give it a listen over on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive and go through that. 505-246-0610. Grady, good day, sir. How you living?
Lobo and Aggie blood feud moderators of the OG and the AM. I'm doing all right. What's happening?
You sound, hopefully you feel better than you sound.
You know, it's allergies, believe it or not, man. It's crazy, but...
All right.
Anyway, you know, I'm sitting here minding my own business, you know, listening to the show, and all of a sudden things are making me perk up a little bit, perk my ears up, and I'll tell you, first off, that wasn't the case with this is what I was going to talk about, but you guys talked about Dylan Chavez, and just real quick, I'm hoping that young man makes an impact. We've actually, you know, we being, you know, kids from Pecos, Malik and his squad, we've been playing against that kid since probably 6th grade, all the way through the AAU circuit, and it was pretty much an automatic L when we ran across those guys. But, you know, he's been a pretty solid player locally for a long time, and I was a little shocked when he decommitted from state, but actually after given the circumstances, okay, and then becoming a preferred walk-on, and I'm kind of in JJ's camp as far as, well, let's kind of wait and see. I hope it's different. I hope that kid can come in and make an impact because, again, another local kid doing good things and staying here. It's just a good story all the way around, and a great way for it to end would be for him to, you know, make a positive impact and get some meaningful minutes. And, you know, real quick, I want to talk about this, the Diego Pavia thing, and Jeff and JJ, I pretty much agree with what you guys were saying, and I'll just say this. You know, Jeff, how you mentioned how if the kid just would have given a statement, all of this would have gone away, and I agree. Now, Jeff, one thing you've always said, you know, throughout the years of this program is, you know, if you're going to stand up and take all the accolades and get all the goodwill, then you need to also stand up and take some of those arrows. And to me, this is a case where the cover-up is worse than the crime. I didn't even really pay attention to it until all of a sudden NMSU's, quite frankly, their incredulous response to the backlash. Well, you know, like, what do you mean? We're taking care of this. And let's put it like this. You know, sometimes smart people can do dumb things or say one effort, one action doesn't define a person. And, you know, Coach Kill talking about how he's old school, et cetera, et cetera. Well, you know, I'm not coming from this from a Lobo fan or Aggie fan. I'm actually coming from this from a father of an 18-year-old college athlete. And it's like, well, if you're going to do that, then you need to be stand up. That's not a stand up move to hide the kid, and that's what they're doing. They're hiding the kid, and it's not a punishment to not have him speak to the media. And it's just not a stand-up move. And I'm sure Coach Kill is an old-school guy, but you know what? It's not a stand-up move. And as far as I'm concerned, again, the cover-up is worse than the crime. And hey, Coach Kill, he caught a demerit today.
Gotcha, man. I appreciate the perspective. Good stuff, Grady. Thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Enjoy the weekend. There's a lot of stuff here, and I wonder how much. The more I think through this at New Mexico State, JJ, with everything they've been, with all the legalities, the lawyers that have been there, right? How much of this does it come from, you know, main campus? Whether it's, I don't even know if they have an interim president or chancellor, right? Dean of students, that sort of thing. And is this something that was lawyered and they're just, you know, they're being told, hey, he can't speak?
There's always that because it's still, you're dealing with student athletes. So it's not the same exact as what I brought up earlier, you know, like Justin Fields addressing a comment, just coming back out and having it. It's not the same thing with student athletes.
Well, all right, we got a weekend, no Lobo football, no Aggie football this weekend. Kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, good football, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of good stuff. I got balloons in the air. I got all kinds of good football. I got OU Texas tomorrow. I got great stuff that I'm going to sit around and watch. I got playoff baseball all weekend.
Got a great weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic weekend to do stuff locally, to watch football, to watch baseball. So many good games because the bad games are intriguing because is Nathaniel Hackett going to try to stick it to Sean Payton?
Dude, how much do I want to watch that game? And I don't even want to watch the Jets and the Broncos.
Why not?
But I do. Football. No, I do. I flat out do.
Of course.
Like I look at them, and And yeah, I kind of want to see that. Orlando, you're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Morning. I'm a late caller here, but I've been listening periodically and got to chime in, man. Long-time Lobo fan. I'm 62 years old. The Lobo-Aggie rivalry, as you know, Jeff, you've been around New Mexico long enough. It's real. It's for real. Seen some stuff over the years. Went down to New Mexico State games, and, you know, they still put a penny in a spoon, hit the lighter, and then flick it at us when we're visiting down there for basketball games. Crazy stuff like that, fights. But this whole thing with them handling it internally, I think it's wrong. At the least, a public apology. He's getting off with a slap on the wrist, basically. I mean, what's New Mexico doing? You got to hold their people to a higher standard, you know. And again, if the shoe was on the other foot, I'm sure, you know, we'd have very pissed off Aggie fans too, you know. But to do that, and then he did it. He got into a locked facility, and for them just to kind of try to sweep it under the rug.
So Orlando, what do you want? What would make you feel better? What do you want to hear, see? What do you want?
Oh, at the very least, a public apology. Worst, a 1-game suspension.
Got it. Thank you, sir. Enjoy the weekend.
All right.
See you. All right. And that's one of those things. I don't. Will they? If he, and he's not. Okay. I mean, it's past, right? If he would have come out and gave you a public statement apology, Lobo fan feel better?
Yes. Like it's still going to fester as a fan.
Yep.
Because I'll use that word again. But at least you're asking just for accountability. But you don't know. You take a step back and say, all right, what were they going through? Because it is different for student athletes. It's easy to say that when we're talking about professional athletes. And as much as, you know, college kids want all the hype and want the NIL stuff, they still are treated differently because they're still a student.
Well, they are. I mean,
and so there's different rules for them.
There's no argument that student athletes are treated different than the student body. They are. They should be, and they are.
But they still fall under certain things as a student.
They still have to. Yes.
Where it's not the same as just calling out, oh, go get player X off the practice field and put him on.
Well, and I'll point out the difference in the high profile. When a student athlete went on campus for New Mexico State, they got lured on by non-student athletes, but students from UNM, right? It was handled differently. The student who, I mean, obviously one was deceased, but we've never really heard anything from the students, right, who have been criminally charged, as they should have been, the UNM students who lured Mike Peake onto campus, right? Now, people are saying, we need to hear accountability from New Mexico State. Look, probably right. And then you got New Mexico State people saying, well, what about the accountability for the UNM students who started this whole thing? And that's your point, where they're treated differently. All right, man. Good week, crazy week, weird week. Gato Roberto, thank you for getting up the last couple of days and somewhat keeping this on track.
You're welcome, and I'm going to go take a nap.
Yeah, please do.
Good cat nap.
Get some rest. Adrian, great week on your side. It looks great on the visual. Catch that Jerry Kill conversation, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive. You'll hear it there. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4 o'clock. Big weekend for you?
Huge weekend.
All right, enjoy it. We're back on Monday morning with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Have a great, safe weekend, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you on Monday.
Imagine having all. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.